Activists and a Taiwan lawmaker called a press conference on Friday to mark the one-year anniversary of a clash outside Hong Kong's legislature.
This violent confrontation between protesters and police was a turning point in the city's anti-extradition bill movement, which later evolved into a wider appeal for democracy.
At Friday's press event, activists said that Hong Kong's crisis was only worsening. Hong Kongers living in Taiwan thanked their adopted home for supporting their city's pursuit of democracy.
Speaking words full of emotion, this Hong Konger in black can't hold back his tears. Friday marked a full year after the start of anti-extradition bill protests in the city. Since then, Hong Kong authorities have only tightened their grip. DPP lawmaker Ho Chih-wei brought together representatives from several civic groups at this event in support for Hong Kong democracy.
I'd like to thank Taiwan's government and President Tsai Ing-wen. University students, middle school students, and even elementary school students have all been oppressed by the Chinese government.
The anti-extradition bill movement started on March 15th last year, with Hong Kongers calling on the government to withdraw the controversial bill. But on June 12th, the bill passed a second reading at the territory's Legislative Council, triggering mass protests. The demonstrations sharply escalated in July, and in September, Hong Kong Chief Executive Carrie Lam withdrew the bill. Later, in the November local elections, the pro-democracy camp achieved a landslide win, which seemed to quell the protests. But tensions stirred up again in May this year, with the Chinese government's passing of a national security law for Hong Kong and a bill that makes disrespecting the Chinese national anthem a punishable criminal offense. Both laws have met with protests from the pro-democracy camp. On Friday, a Taiwan lawmaker held a press event marking a tumultuous year in the fight for democracy. He played videos sent in from key pro-democracy figures in Hong Kong.
Over the revolution of our time this past year, there really have been a lot of Taiwanese friends who, regardless of political affiliation and of whether they are politicians or in civic groups, have worked extremely hard to support Hong Kongers and safeguard our freedom. Dear Taiwanese friends, dear everyone, I am Chapman To. I hope that people in Taiwan can keep supporting our young people in Hong Kong. Thank you. Liberate Hong Kong, revolution of our time. We have to keep going.
Displayed at the event were more than 1,000 letters written by Hong Kongers to relatives in Taiwan since the start of the protests. The correspondence contains messages of concern from Hong Kongers about the future and the yearning for the families.
More than 1,000 letters from mom and dad, from 6- and 7-year-old children writing to one another. We had wanted to hold this exhibition 2 or 3 months before. There were some curators that had lost contact with some of their friends they were getting help from in the process. We can't find them anymore. This process has been a rough road and an emotionally draining one. We'll continue doing these things we've done in the past for Hong Kongers. We will also continue striving to make the system better. I believe this can definitely be done.
The letters will be showcased at the Legislative Yuan from Friday to June 26th.